It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Welcome back to the channel, family. I'm your host, Pastor B. I am also an ambassador of Jesus Christ. And guess what else? That is the ministry, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20. If you are new to this channel, I just want to say welcome aboard. And if you are already a member of this channel, I just want to say welcome back. If you like what I'm doing over here, if you're interested in the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, then go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you can know when I drop a video. Drop a comment down below. Whatever you do, all praises to the Most High God. I'm about to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. This video is not for everybody. This is for somebody special, somebody in particular. Everybody will not resonate with this video. This doesn't happen to everybody, but to whom it may concern, the Spirit of God has a word for you. You don't have anxiety. You have undeveloped discernment. Let me say that again. You don't have anxiety. You do have undeveloped discernment. For many years, I felt like I had anxiety. I had panic attacks. I felt like the heart racing, felt like the blood pressure was going up, felt like I was about to pass out. I had these moments growing up that I didn't understand. Sometimes I remember way back in the day when I would have these episodes, I remember this clearly. I remember sitting in the lunchroom at Walmart when I was working at Walmart. This was many, many, many years ago. But for some reason, in that lunchroom, that break room, 15 people were talking, and I could hear every conversation that everybody was talking about, even though it was muffled. And it freaked me out. I was like, what? How can I hear all these different people talking at once? And I got up and I left out of there real quick, and people were stopping me saying, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. You know, it gets worse when people ask you, are you okay? Heart was racing. I didn't understand what was happening to me. I didn't understand when I would go around a bunch of people, I would go in, I would go in one way, go in happy, go in joyful, and come out feeling just the opposite. I didn't know that it was not anxiety that I was dealing with. I had the gift of discerning of spirits that was undeveloped. It took time for the Holy Spirit to reveal to me years later why I felt the way that I felt. When you have discernment, you have the ability to tune in, if you will, to different spirits, good and evil, as the scriptures say. In other words, to make it clear, it's kind of like, you know, when you are driving out of town, you know how you have the radio on, and the radio, when you go from, let's just say I'm driving to Florida, when I get out of a certain county, when I get out of Georgia, and I get down there by, Valdosta, is that Valadosa? Once I start getting closer and closer to Florida, I lose the signal. I lose the frequency. But then the closer I get to Florida, I start tuning into different frequencies. It sounds something like static, like a stat, like you're trying to zoom in. I'm trying to get my words right. You're zoning in to these different frequencies. Just like tuning your radio station, you find a different radio station. That's what it's like. When you have discernment, you tune in to every frequency, if you will, that's in that assembly. You tune in to people. If they're dealing with depression, you tune into depression. If they're dealing with anger, you're tuning into their anger. If they're dealing with lust, you tune into their lust. And here's the thing. It's not you that's depressed. It's not you that's lustful. It's not you that's angered. It's the fact that you have absorbed, you have tuned in to all of these different spirits. And now when you leave, you are carrying all of that energy with you. And that, if you don't understand the fact that you have discernment, that is discernment, it will cause anxiety. Picture like the old Marvel comics. Whenever the superhero didn't know that they had a superpower, whenever they tapped into that superpower, it freaked them out. They was like, oh, what's happening to me? My hand is glowing. What is going on? My eyes are turning a different color. They got that from the Bible, my friend. That's what happens when you have discernment. So the next time you start feeling like you having an anxiety attack, it may be that you have discernment that is undeveloped. And once it gets developed, you will be able to recognize that it's not you that's feeling this way. I'm not panicking. It's just that all of that energy, if you will, is on foreign ground. Now, this is the reason why God gives it to you. He gives you discernment so that you can be wise when you are carrying forth the mission that He has given you. You need to know when you are in the presence of somebody that is not going to do you right. When I'm going to be honest with you. Let me take a sip. Hold on. Let me get some water. I'll be honest with you, brother. I'll be honest with you, my sister. My discernment is so strong that I can sit across from somebody and be talking to them, and I just feel off. You just feel off. You can't explain it. It's just this awkwardness about the conversation. It's just an awkwardness. And then when they leave, you don't feel awkward anymore. That is discernment, my brother. Your discernment is saying, hey, watch this guy. There's something going on with him. He might stab you in the back. He might switch up on you. Watch out. And then there are times when I'm around people, there are certain people I'm around, and I feel like we have conversations. I start feeling like I get goosebumps on my arm, and I feel good in their presence. I feel really good. It's just a joyful feeling. Goosebumps on the arm. I just feel really, really exuberant around certain people. That's discernment. And that's what discernment does. You have the ability, and I'm going to leave the verse in the next to the title, but you have the ability to discern between good and evil, and that will protect you. I remember the young lady, beautiful young girl. I think this was in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. But she went out of town with some friends. Some friends, right? Yeah. Friends like this, you don't need enemies. She went out of town with her friends, and something happened where she got into a fight with one of her friends. You know the story. And that person killed her, and they left her in, oh, it was in Mexico. Left her in Mexico, came back without her body, and come to find out that they had jumped on this girl, beautiful young lady, bright future, but they were jealous of her. Can I tell you, if she had the gift of discernment, she wouldn't have even been in that position. Just like Selena. If Selena, the old school singer from Mexico, I think she came out back in the 90s. She was killed by her secretary, her assistant. If Selena would have known, had that discernment, she would have known that that woman was going to switch up on her. Case in point, let's go to the heavy book. Jesus had the gift of discernment. And that's why he was able to say, one of y'all will betray me. Talking about Judas. And everybody at the Last Supper, they said, Lord, is it me? Is it me? And Jesus replied, the one who eats with me is the one who will betray me. Paraphrasing. Jesus, he modeled what it is like to have discernment. If you feel like you've been anxious, can I ask you to take your anxiety to God? Because it may not be anxiety. You may be tuning in to different spirits and you don't know how to handle it because it has been undeveloped. And I'm praying that God will show you and help you in developing this gift that is so important to have in these last and evil days. Now, I'm about to get out of here. UPS flying down the street, people going to work, coming home from work, wifey just pulled up. Hey, it's time for me to get in the house. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I hope you having a beautiful day as well. I love you. And until next time, if God said the same, I'll be praying for you. I'll be praying with you. I'm going home.